Hi, today I'm going to show you how to convert a sine wave into polar and rectangular form in an electrical engineering sense. First, let's look at an example. I'm going to set my amplitude at 30 volts and my leading angle at 30 degrees. The general form of a sine wave is represented as a sine wt plus or minus theta, where w is 2 pi frequency, a is the peak value, t is the period, and theta is the leading or lagging angle. For our example, the peak value is 30 and the leading angle is the plus 30 degrees. To convert to polar form, we must look at an axis and the general form, which is r and theta. Theta in both equations is the same, hence we can say that theta in the polar equation is 30 degrees. But to find r, we must divide the peak value by root 2. Why is this? Well, the peak to peak value is 2 times the peak value, which is 2 root 2 of the RMS value, which is the effective voltage, which is what the voltage represents in polar form. To find this, we put our peak value and the RMS value together and equate for Vp over root 2, which in our case is 30 on root 2, which is equal to 21.2. So, we've gathered from our equation that for polar form it is 21.2 at 30 degrees. To convert to rectangular form, it is best to do it via polar form. We must look at the general equation for rectangular form, which is in complex numbers, a being the real axis and I being the imaginary axis. We place these accordingly, as shown. First thing we must observe is that the axes, both their vectors, make up the r in polar form. Hence, by using trigonometry, we can just gain the values by simply rearranging and placing our values, as shown here. From these values we get 10.6i for the imaginary axis and 18.4 for the real axis. Therefore, from polar form we gain the rectangular form, which is 18.4 plus 10.6i. So what we've gathered here today is from our general form, our 30 sine wt plus 30, the polar form is 21.2 at 30 degrees and the rectangular form is 18.4 plus 10.6i, because it's in the positive region. You can convert between the two using Pythagoras and trig. Thank you.